let's have a real conversation.
Sure.
I mean, we talk about a lot of things, right? And it's not easy to talk about certain personal stuff. Now, I know you have quite an interesting story, with your health journey. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to look up to you. Especially when you were in Holland still, and your videos, your pictures, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, shoot, I want my arms to look like myself. But things change, things happen. But how did you start on that journey?
Well, the journey began for me when I was around the age of 16. Well, a little bit earlier than that, because there was a point in time in my young life, I was an obese kid, and it was very challenging. And going to school, some of your peers would bully you because they would call you names because of your size and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. And I've always been the type of person to always reflect on things and to identify what I like or do not like.
Yeah.
And I really hated the fact that I was obese and decided I have to make a change.
Yeah.
But what really made a change is that I went to a clinic one day, and the house doctor said to me, if I continue in this trajectory, by the age of 19, I will get a heart attack, or I could die, basically. What about yourself? I also remember that you was also chubby in high school. So
Yeah. In high school, I was always above, kind of average, but then a chubby kid. But I must say my health took a downward turn. I went away to school.
Okay.
I went through a bout of depression because at the time I also just got married and then ended up in a year and a half long distance relationship in school, away in Florida, wife back home on the island, and we had a business, we had so much going on. So it was, this is that back and forth. And then my way of ignoring it was drowning myself in work, taking on extra activities at school. So then by the time you reach home, order Domino's or whatever convenient fast food there is, and then you just eat to disregard the real feeling. But that led to an impact, which led me to the hospital when I came back to Martin. Yeah, because I found out that I had pre-diabetic symptoms, and it was the night that I was admitted to the hospital, my sugar level was so high that it couldn't even read on a meter. And that's the type of reading that puts you in coma, loss of sight, nerve damage, that bad. But by the grace of God, I am here, and that healthcare alone, I'll be real with you, the fact that they charge you for water in the hospital, that alone was like, nah, I can't afford to go back there. Hi, I'm Cantave, an author, journalist, and someone who's literally spoken to hundreds of persons on this island. However, today, I have a message just for our men, and that message is simple. Talk about your health. Don't be afraid to be open. I'm Cantave, talking to you man to man.